Well, howdy howdy. Welcome to the shop on the blowing wind. We're working on this HP. This is a 200D, and I'm using a 10,000-year-old ICO scope. That's fun. Anyway, this thing's got some bad distortion in the output. If it'll fire up here. There we go. You can see it kind of on the bottom there. Anyway, what I've discovered here is this right here, this part of the oscillator. This is the oscillator part of this oscillator, and this is the RF, or the audio amp, excuse me. And I was looking at this here, and here's a 0.5 microfarad cap at 300 volt. No, excuse me, 600 volt. And this is the plate. Has a couple hundred volts, and this is the grid of that 6F6. As you can see, it has about 3 volts on it, which is a big no-no. If I move this out of the way, it drops down. Of course, the oscillator dies. So I'm going to replace that with this. I believe that is leaking, is what that is. That's what a leaky cap looks like. You hook, basically, you're going from the high voltage here down to no voltage. This is at 0 potential, and if it's leaky, voltage creeps through there and biases or turns that next stage's tube on too hard. So let's replace it and see what happens. Well, here's the cap. It's at 0.5 at 600 volts. And I checked it on my cap meter, and it reads more like 0.3, which tells me something's a little amiss. Anyway, I just snapped that in there, and we'll just do a little plug rearranging out here. I was thinking about storming, but I don't. From what I see on the weather radar, oh man, that switch is stiff. I don't think it's going to do anything. So we got stuff's warming up here. 300 and how about 250 on that side, and about 0 on that side. So that looks a little better. Oh gee, how mysterious! Looky what we fixed. Man, that thing's got a ton of voltage. Now there are some other caps in here. I gotta get that out of there. These two. These electrolytics. But they're all bypass caps for the power supplies and stuff. This thing's pretty interesting. And somebody has replaced it. There would have been a big square cardboard cap here, and they replaced it with two. Better be careful, I'll have a problem there. There we go. They replaced it with 2 oil-filled caps, which is kind of funny. Those are only 4 microfarad. If you look, well, you can't see it there. Oop, I saw that. Maybe I bumped the lead here. Maybe the ground is screwing up. Let me switch this around a little bit. It's kind of fun working with all the test equipment. It makes you appreciate the modern stuff. There we go. Now this thing goes from like 7 hertz. The scope can't even go that low to I think 700 kilohertz, which we can do. This is a funny old scope. It doesn't have real triggering, sort of. It's got what they call a veneer. Well, looks like it's doing pretty good. Let's try the real test here. So there's times 10. Sorry this is upside down. I will go to near 60 hertz and see if there's 2 sine waves imposed on each other. And it doesn't look like it. It's got a little instability. I don't know if you can see this. There's a little tiny distortion here, but it's not bad, and there's a little... Yeah, it's actually amazing that these scopes work, or these oscillators work this far. There's a little tiny distortion there. There might be a cap right here, maybe in the cathode. No, that's not the cathode. That one might be. What we need to do is look here before this amplifier and see if that distortion, see its flat top in there. Although it could be, yeah, see, it's me, I'm overdriving the damn thing. So we'll turn it down a little bit, we'll turn the scope up a little bit here. You know what's really kind of scary about this is I took the back off of the scope. You would think, now this is an ICO 460. This is kind of I believe, a Generation 2 scope for them. It's a little bit different than the schematic. What's interesting is I took the back off this. I found like a manufacturer's, you know, what do I say? It's moving around there. It's got some other issue. I found a blah 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 blah, like a rubber stamp inspection mark in there. This said 1975. So they were still building vacuum tube scopes in 1975. The age of the transistor was pretty much in full swing. Although I do have to admit, this thing was a breeze to work on. It was so obvious I didn't even really need the book. I took it apart and looked at it, drew a couple real sketchy drawings, and you know, was ready to go. And it's relatively stable. Actually, all I did was I cleaned a few things. What's going on here? There's something. It's this janky wire is what it is. So there you go. I spent more time taking the bottom off the thing than I did troubleshooting the oscillator. Like I said, that's an HP 200D. If you can read upside down, E, right there. Oh, good. Our storm's fizzling out. Okay, well, thanks for stopping by and the bench and the wind-blown plane. Take it easy.